Hello, welcome to Indie Ink. I am Taryn Tyler, an author and a poet, and I am really excited, but also nervous because for the longest time, ever since I was a little girl and I read Secret Garden at like 8 years old, I have really wanted to have a garden. And I've tried so many times. As an adult, I've never been able to grow anything. I've bought potted plants and put them on my patio several times, and they always die. And I've kind of pretty much given up. I have, I think, one succulent that is still alive. And you would think that I would not be sadistic and I would stop trying. But I am going to try again today. I bought some bulbs. I got some tulips and some daffodils and some crocuses. So I decided to check out some bulbs kind of inspired by the Happy Hobbit because I heard them talking over there that bulbs can be easier to grow than regular seeds, and also that you can grow them in the winter, and it is wintertime. And I looked it up, and yes, that is actually recommended for a springtime bloom, is recommended to plant flowers in December or January. So that's what we're going to do. And hopefully they will grow and not die. I'm nervous and excited.
A seed of hope germinates in secret, lonely in the dark, watered with longing, barely a thought, not a word, nor a whisper. It reaches for life from the core of its soul. Cradled in soil, rich with regret, lost in forgetting, void of belonging, decomposed fears and disappointments stir beneath the surface in a buried hole. A wish planted, yet time seems to forget. Patience fades, smothered in years of waiting. Sunlight beats so far out of reach, its lure rips unwanted truths towards its blind pole. A limitless promise will one day spring, a song sprouting desires in daylight swing.
So it looks like I did not have enough pots and soil to plant all the bulbs, so I just planted the tulips. Could end up being a good thing because I also read in my very small amount of research that they recommend you do some every couple of weeks so you have continuous blooms in the spring. I thought that was a little advanced for me, so I was like, I'm just gonna do it all at once. Yeah, so maybe I'll have tulips one week and daffodils the next week, crocuses the week after that. We'll see how it works out, provided I remember to water them. It's not like I don't know why my plants die. I just have not been able to work watering my plants into my routine. I always intend to, and I always forget. So hopefully I do that and these grow. My poor succulents definitely need a new pot pretty soon. I think it's actually that these need a pot, not more water, because they don't need a lot of water. And I did find some other plants that I had that were still alive. I think it's because I used little watering mushroom things for those. So they still got some water. So I'm going to try some of those in my tulip plants and see if that helps them grow. I really hope they grow though. So it is now January 16th, 4 weeks since I last planted my bulbs. No signs of growth yet. I have been watering them once a week though. If you have any idea how long you're supposed to water bulbs, let me know. When I was looking up how to do bulbs, it said once a week. So I stuck with once a week. I didn't want to overwater them. But I don't know how long. And it might just not be warm enough yet for them to really be sprouting. Last Sunday, actually, we were cleaning up Christmas, and me and my partner were at Home Depot. There was a receipt on the ground right as we were loading up the car. We went and got like a tub to put all the decorations in, and put away. And Anthony was like, "Oh, is that my receipt?" And he picked it up, and then on the top was potting soil because we had completely forgot that we needed potting soil. And so we went back into the store to get potting soil and some pots. I'm going to say that that means in the receipt blowing over and reminding us that we needed potting soil, that these crocuses are going to be blessed. It is fate, serendipity, forces in the universe have conspired to make sure that I am able to plant these crocuses and they will grow and thrive, hopefully. So I planted all of the crocuses. It looked like they were kind of sprouting already, which is maybe a good sign that they will grow if they're already a little sprouted. And hopefully I don't kill them. And in a couple weeks, they are flowers. Crocuses are really gorgeous, so these ones I especially hope bloom. The crocus bulbs didn't fit into the two new pots that I got, so I pulled up some pots that didn't have drainage, and I read somewhere that you can put some stones underneath the soil to help them drain, and so I tried that. And then, because I had space left over, I went ahead and planted some daffodils. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure these bulbs are actually dead. Planted them anyways. We'll see. Miss Bronte was being very helpful out there. I don't know what she saw or heard, but she got very, very excited. This succulent is actually my longest surviving plant. I've had it several years now, in as much as it is alive at all. It's hanging in there. It's moved through several different pots. I think it's time to get it a new one. But until I have time to go to the store again, I just filled up the soil a little bit fuller so that it raised the roots just a little bit and hopefully gives them a little bit more breathing room. Planting feels like such a hopeful thing. Even if I'm not sure if they're going to bloom, it still feels really hopeful to put a seed in the ground and hope something's going to come up. So it is February 12th, and my bulbs have finally started to sprout. I am so excited. I was really worried that they weren't going to because historically I have such a brown thumb. But they did sprout, and I'm looking forward to them growing some more. It also looks like my succulents are breathing a little better, so I'm glad. Even though I don't have a really big enough pot for them right now, they've started to at least come back to life a little bit. I'm not sure if all of the pots are going to sprout, but some of them did, and that makes me happy. Two more pots started to sprout. Honestly, I'll be happy if just one makes it to be into full bloom, but I'm excited. Two more sprouts. It's really hard for me to not just sit there like trying to watch them grow because I'm so excited. They're growing. Also, something of interest. One of the pots that has just started to sprout is one that I put rocks in because it didn't have a draining system in the pot. It was a closed pot, so I put rocks in the bottom, and that one's sprouting. So it's apparently that works, and that's good to know.
Touching the earth, drinking the sky, tell me your dreams. No vision too high, reaching out rooted, solid and brittle. Cradle your cares in the nest of your breath, soil enriched with the rustle of hope, soaking your sorrows with branches of rest. Now is the crawl from sapling to canopy, still and alive, with the courage to be.
I did it. I grew one tulip. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm excited. It bloomed. It bloomed. And if this vlog ends here, I will be happy because I grew one flower. Thought some of the blooms that I had were actually weeds. Just the one. Just the one. And I wondered why it looked a little different than all the other bulbs that had come up. I was gonna let it grow and find out what it was. I think it's probably like a dandelion or something. Because no flower is really a weed, right?
But I didn't want to choke out the daffodils, so today I went ahead and weeded it out. The pots that I did with the rocks at the bottom, since there wasn't any drainage, one of them did sprout. So I took some pots I had that have no drainage and put rocks on the bottom and dirt on top, and went ahead and planted the rest of my daffodil bulbs. So hopefully they will bloom soon too. But yeah, I'm excited. I grew one flower. It is a very beautiful tulip, and I am very, very happy about that. With the world in the mess that it is in right now, just being able to plant a seed and let it grow and watch it turn into something is pretty amazing. It's also a pretty good lesson in patience for me, I think. Because I'm so anxious all the time, anytime something's not happening, I'm worried something's wrong and I need to fix something. So the practice of standing back and just being like, all right, planted the seed, let's leave it alone and let it do its thing. Oh, that's good. So it has been 3 weeks since my tulip bloomed, and 3 months now since I started planting things. My tulips petals are getting a little on the wrinkly side. I thought maybe at first that she was waterlogged, but this pot is one that has a hole on the bottom, so it does have drainage. The only other reason I could find on the interwebs for the petals to curl would be too much sun, so I moved her to a shadier spot. But if anyone has any ideas on why her petals could be curling, let me know, because I'm very much still learning how to do this. I'm just super excited that so many of my plants actually sprouted. Most of them did. Most people get seasonal depression in like the winter, like from starting in November, December on until January, February. My seasonal depression is always a little bit later than that, kind of late winter, early spring, from like February until maybe April. So having the gardening to do during that time has been really helpful. I wouldn't say it's a 100% cure by any means, but it helps. It helped a lot to just be more in touch with the earth and making something grow. And it's, I think, a good lesson in patience, which I think patience really is trust. It's the ability to trust that what you are waiting for is going to happen, and the earth is going to sprout my seeds. I don't have to sit there and watch them and make them happen. I just plant, water consistently, and let go, which I think is a big lesson for me. And I'm definitely going to continue planting bulbs during that time of year, any year that I have time, because I enjoyed it a lot. Today is March 22nd. We just had the spring equinox. In celebration, I went ahead and planted some herbs. This morning I got up and watched the dawn and just kind of enjoyed the sun having returned. One of the things people always associate spring with is, new beginnings and fresh starts and change, and it very much is that. But people forget that with that comes storms and letting old things go, and change can be very turbulent, which might be why I usually have depression during that time of year, because I like things calm. Turbulence doesn't make me happy. The fall equinox, when things are settling down and getting quiet, I enjoy that time because it's like, now I can get focused. Whereas spring is more chaotic, transitioning into summer. A tempest shakes, tangled deep inside the cold. Winds howl, shrinking in a torrent of loss. Frigid ice melts, gushing in a tidal wave, watering seeds yet unseen as they reach, pushing their way through the erupting chaos. The soil is washed clean, sprouting new growth amidst the violent rush of thunderclaps, shaking away what no longer nourishes, clearing the path for fresh tangles of life, soaring towards the swelling warmth of the sun. Hope shoots like lightning, vibrant and fleeting, across the stormy gray of what has passed. The future gleams in the distance of dawn, sprawling with creation from Earth's womb.
So, did I cure my brown thumb? I don't know. Things sprouted, but the tulip's petals are curling, so maybe I'm not all the way cured of my brown thumbness yet, but I'm glad I had the courage to try, and now I'm planting some herbs as well, and maybe I'll have more plants in the future. So I'm really glad that I didn't let my years and years of not being able to keep potted plants alive prevent me from planting more plants and seeing what I could do. And if there's anything that you've always thought you just wouldn't be able to do, I really encourage you to try it. Just try it in a small, simple way, and I think you might be surprised that you can do more than you thought you could. Yeah, thank you for joining me on my plant growing journey, and I hope to hear from you more soon.
Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to Ink Spills if you enjoy fairy tales, gothic literature, poetry, book recommendations, or writing.